Hi, my name is Błażej and I'm a WOODEXPERT specialist. In this video, we will take a deeper look inside a component structure. Let's begin. Complex components in the WOODEXPERT library are based on an assembly box template. This template contains three basic planes. They have no parameters. They intersect at coordinate system starting point. Three offset planes. Each of them has an offset parameter called respectively depth, height, and width. Along with the three basic planes, they constitute the cubage of the component, or its box. When inserting a complex component to a project, a WOODEXPERT insertion editor appears and asks the user to specify planes and dimensions. What actually happens are two things. First, we create mates between the planes of the box and some pre-existing faces of our project. Second, we specify the value of offset parameters. In other words, we define the size and position of the box. How the component will behave in relation to that box depends on how this component was designed. Let's take a look at a few examples. Example 1. A carcass. This is the most standard solution. The shape of the carcass fits the box closely. Changing the dimensions of the box will cause the carcass to change its dimensions. We can control, for example, the thickness of the panels or some offsets. But the dimensions of the box and the total dimensions of the carcass will always be exactly the same. Example 2. Overlay door. Parts of a component do not necessarily have to be inside the box. The base for this component is also the inside of a carcass, but the door itself lies outside of the box. The size and position of the door are dependent on the size of the box and on the parameters. Hinges amount and offset, overlays, and move to front. Example 3. Connector set. Previous components were inserted into an empty space. Box for this component is the volume of a single panel. It is reflected in the insertion editor. Previous components had insertion method between components. This one is inside the component. In general, the connectors will follow the dimensions of the box and the parameters. Of course, part of the connector is inside the box that is the panel, and part of it is outside. Apart from complex components, WOODEXPERT also features simple ones. A simple component is a single accessory or fitting. Their definitions and insertion looks different. We discuss it in another video. That's all in this video. Thank you for watching.